Yeah. Oh, back in it? Ooh. That's a good one, huh? Yeah. And we're back. Saturday before the before the holidays. Yeah, the last Saturday before the Christmas Eve and Christmas. So I think if people are gonna get in trouble, they're gonna get in trouble tonight. So I think if people are gonna like crash their cars and be drunk and on drugs and shit, this is the night. Yeah, this is the night. I think this is the party night. This is the violence night. I think this is the night, you know, in my mind. Just have a feeling like, got that party vibe to it. As Mike used to say. Mike used to say, party vibe. I'm getting a party vibe. Oh, yeah. He would say that stuff had a vibe. He was the bass player for my friend's band at one time. And so we'd go to a club or a venue or a bar, and then he would look around and he would say, "Oh, this got a party vibe." Make us laugh, you know, talking about the party vibe. Maybe at a funeral, he would say like, depressing vibe, you know, depending on whatever the vibe was. Or maybe a girl would flash her boobs and he would say like, sex vibe. He would say whatever the vibe was. But of course, party vibe was what we wanted to hear. There were other kind of vibrations in the universe, and not all of them are good, like the Beach Boys. I guess Alan Jackson is a country music singer, a very famous one, with a lot of hits and everything. And but another man called Alan Jackson is the defense attorney for Nick Reiner in the two first-degree murder charges of his parents. So, TMZ are saying that this might be a more sensational, more famous trial than even the O.J. Simpson trial. I don't know about that, but maybe close. Yeah. So many Hollywood elites are involved, yeah. The Conan O'Brien party kind of takes it over the edge there. Yeah. I say just be done with them, you know, lock him up. I mean, I know he's got to have a trial, due process and all that, but, kind of weird. Conan O'Brien, a guy who I suspect never done any crimes in his life, in a courtroom. You know, if everybody gets subpoenaed, that'd be real crazy. That'd be a show trial for sure. Oh, Conan O'Brien being serious, making serious faces. The public wouldn't even know what to do. Him just, yes, Judge. Well, you know, I didn't know that he was coming to the party. Like Conan O'Brien, an Irishman being dour, being sullen. You know, what a bizarre spectacle that would be. That would definitely not be his typical element. Yeah, a lot of people are really pissed that the defense lawyer can spin it into a possible guilty by reason of insanity defense, which offers Nick Reiner a possibility of actually getting out after whatever decades of treatment or whatever it is. So one day he might actually be out, and yeah, Nick Reiner among us again, with an ankle monitor in a special halfway house, and oh. Yeah. Yeah, the second time I watched Spinal Tap 2, The End Continues, I thought, oh, man, it's still creepy when Rob Reiner goes on, when he does the introduction. That part's still creepy, even the second time. I guess it'll never be not be creepy now. It'll never not be creepy now. It'll always be like creeped out. Oh. Yeah, what's one of the funniest parts of Spinal Tap 2? I think it's the part where the music executive is like, hey, you guys are going to stand up, right? For the show, for the reunion show. I guess that's a dig at... My parents wanted to see Eric Clapton, and he was known not as Eric Clapton, but he was known as one of the finest guitarists that had lived and survived the 60s and the 70s, the 1960s and the 1970s. So, of course, if Jimi Hendrix had survived drugs and made it out of the 27 Club, then he would have been like, you know, the big king. I mean, I don't know if these guys, Stevie Ray Vaughan and Eric Clapton, would have had strong, maybe as strong of careers if Jimi Hendrix had lived. You know, maybe they would have, but hey, there's always room for more music in life, I think. So everybody wants more money, and there's always room for more music, I think. So, I mean, our lives are never worse off for having more money or more music, you know. So, in my opinion, the famous philosopher said, "Life without music would be a mistake." Yeah, for sure. So Slow Hand is what Eric Clapton was called. He's still alive. I don't think he performs anymore. I think he's officially retired, you would say? Just did some English or some kind of mansion place. Some kind of Brentwood Estates, maybe. I don't know if he lives in Brentwood, but maybe he lives back in England in a posh, mansion estate. Kind of the Clapton estate, if you will. So my mom and my stepdad were so excited about this Eric Clapton show in the late 90s. And they thought he would stand up while he was performing. Oh no. Oh no. He sat down the entire concert. And my parents were like complaining. He didn't even get out of his chair. He just sat there in the fucking chair playing. That's great. So I think that's why Spinal Tap, they made a joke. They made the big stink. The drama of the Spinal Tap 2, The End Continues, is the young, hip marketing music executive complaining that the old men are not standing up. And I don't know if that in particular was inspired by Eric Clapton and his fans complaining that he didn't stand up and he just sat in a chair. Maybe he wasn't the only older artist who did that, who came out into a concert and performed it in a chair. For Peter Frampton's concert in Austin, that I went with my aunt, my uncle, and my cousin, Peter Frampton stood up for the entire show of like 2 or 3 hours or however long. He stood up the entire time. So he played all his biggest hits. He played Frampton Comes Alive, and then he played Humble Pie. After that was the second part. I wasn't familiar with the Humble Pie material, but most people know the. Is it the 50th anniversary of that this year? Frampton Comes Alive. Man, yeah, I love that record. I guess it has beautiful melodies, and there's such an energy from Frampton Comes Alive, and then also it's got just wonderful stories. It's like one of those rare, I don't know, just everything kind of hits, everything kind of clicks. It's just almost perfect. Yeah, it's like perfect. It's like one of the best live albums I've ever heard. A lot of times what happens is if you get live albums like David Live, or you get even the amazing Queen, sometimes the recording isn't that good, and so the playback quality isn't that great because it wasn't recorded properly in the first place, so it doesn't sound as epic as it should, and so since it was not recorded properly, it did not translate well to the records, to the CDs, and so on. I gave David Live by David Bowie kind of a pass because I knew it was recorded. It wasn't that he gave a crappy performance or the band gave a crappy performance. It just didn't sound right. It wasn't mixed right. It wasn't recorded right is the problem. But Peter Frampton Comes Alive. Now that shit's perfect. It has perfect sound. It has perfect recording, which is the difference. Yeah, and then so Peter Frampton was kind of at his highest of the highs, and I guess if you made your highest high, the next thing in life is not your lowest low, but it's probably like something like coming down, and so yeah, I mean I think it's Fleetwood Mac Rumors 1977, one of the biggest selling, one of the most amazing records ever made. And for them to follow that up was an Herculean kind of task. So, actually, I did like Fleetwood Mac's follow-up to Rumors. I did like Tusk. It was interesting, to say the least. It was like, Tusk was like their Beatles' White Album. It was very much like that. It was a big double disc and had all the band members pretty much splintering asunder, writing their own material, and so it was very fascinating. No, I know what it is. I know it kind of hinders progress. And here's what really hinders progress. And in musical instruments or anything, it's really just fear which hinders progress. So that's essentially like, so if there's somebody wanting to learn keyboards and they're not really progressing, they're just, it's not that they're not even working hard, they're not even trying, it's just they're afraid of bringing it to the next level. And so that's what happens a lot. People kind of, put themselves in their own boxes where they can't escape. And so if somebody's like, oh, I can't do this, then that person's destined to fail it. So that's all, a psychological mindset, which I know people are very opinionated about Led Zeppelin, but I try not to judge people's vocal styles too harshly, except for, I guess the vocal style that annoys me the most. No, it's not Billy Corgan from the Smashing Pumpkins. One vocal style that irritates the ears of so many is a guy called Bruce Springsteen, the boss. And so, yeah, I know why. It's pretty grating, his vocal delivery, especially as he's gotten older. Sounds like somebody's constipated or struggling to take a shit. And it's just not that great. Yeah, I can understand why people don't like Bruce Springsteen. I totally get it. I call him Bruce Stinksteen. And I don't know if it is a regional thing, because people in the Northeast, I noticed they kind of look on people from New York and New Jersey and stuff. They kind of tend to praise Bruce Springsteen. I don't want to make this a regional thing between North and South or something, but people in the South really don't like his particular vocal style. I can't really say it's a regional thing. I don't want to look at it that. Let's just say his voice is just not that great. Let's just go with that. Yeah, it was shocking going to a David Bowie concert in the early 2000s. And the reason why it was shocking is because there wasn't that many people there. And I was really shocked because David Bowie, all my friends were like listening to David Bowie music, and everybody's like, wow, it's David Bowie music. And everybody was enjoying all the David Bowie music. And so I thought there would be like a new generation of people like going to the show. There was a lot of empty seats at the Woodlands Pavilion. And I was thinking, what the fuck? This is like one of the greatest, most innovative artists ever. And, where's all the diehards like me? It's like there's people there, but I guess he had a string of not hit records, like maybe from mid 80s to pretty much up to the 2000s, and so maybe that's what the deal was. So could have just been declining record sales, and that's why more of the youth did not make a turnout. So I didn't expect an older David Bowie concerts to sell out, but I really expected a lot more representation than I saw. And, you know, bands, really great bands like the Moody Blues have almost been forgotten. You know, it's almost like they didn't even exist. For some people, it's crazy. Yeah, but people still remember people still have an affection for the Rolling Stones, young, middle-aged, and elderly alike. So, if I went to a Rolling Stones concert, if they didn't quit, like, I guess I thought they were gonna go out dying on stage. You know, I thought they were just gonna have a heart attack on stage, like they were just gonna have a stroke and just die. You know, right up during a song or something like that. It looks like they're gonna have more of a slow burn retirement than I thought. I thought they were going out with a bang bang. Yeah, I thought the boys would be up there straight up stroking, and they're going and their faces contorting, and they'd just be and having heart attacks and just falling everywhere, and just the paramedics would come get them in their own blood, and yeah, I thought they were gonna go out, you know, hardcore, like Mick Jagger had a stroke on stage. But it seems that they're taking the route of we're too old for this shit. Yeah, I think they're like, man, I don't know if I can do another international tour with 50 shows, you know. And I guess the elephant in the room is the Epstein pictures with Epstein and Mick Jagger. Yeah. Now, if I have a dinner with a criminal and I'm pictured and someone takes a picture of us, it doesn't mean I'm engaged in that particular criminal activity. So, probably a lot of wealthy, elite people hang out. A lot of well-connected people in the entertainment world hang out. And a lot of people in different fields, they hang out and they party. And they exchange numbers, and they plan business ventures, and all that shit. And I'm sure a lot of the people have no idea what the demons in the closet of some of the people are, especially Jeffrey Epstein. So probably Mick Jagger was like, hey, there's Bill Clinton, and hey, look, it's Kevin Spacey. Hey, look, it's Chris Tucker, and look, it's Michael Jackson. Hey, I'm going to go hang out with this guy. Yeah, we're going to have dinner with all these famous people. I mean, I'm sure they had these huge powwows where everybody hangs out that's rich and powerful and connected and elite. I hope it's not like Eyes Wide Shut wasn't a documentary where they're all putting on masks and having orgies. Like in the P. Diddy the Diddler freak-offs, and they're all worshiping Satan and Baal, an ancient Babylonian demon, and sacrificing children and drinking baby blood. I hope that's not what's really going on. But if you do recall from the Rolling Stones Rock and Roll Circus, when Mick Jagger takes off his shirt, he has a huge tattoo of Satan on his chest. Now, maybe that is the elephant in the room, but if you ever watch the Rolling Stones Rock and Roll Circus with Jethro Tull and The Who and Eric Clapton and all these other swinging acts of the 1960s, John Lennon and Yoko Ono, when they come to the Rolling Stones part, he rips off his shirt, huge tattoo of Lucifer, you know, the fallen angel of God. Yeah, a huge tattoo of that. So I don't know if he's a devil worshiper or not. There was a huge tattoo of Satan on his chest, though. That might be a clue, I think. You know, like having a pentagram on his ass cheek. Or two pentagrams on both his ass cheeks, because you have double ass cheeks. So is that a clue that someone's a devil worshiper, or are they just trying to be edgy if they have a Lucifer tattoo on their chest. A gigantic satanic demon on their chest. They could be devil worshippers, really. That might be a clue. I don't know. I'm no expert on the occult, but yeah. I'm no expert on the devil. Well, they did write a song called "The Sympathy for the Devil." Yeah, that's true. Rolling Stones, devil worshippers? I don't know. Is the proof in the pudding or what? Yeah, there was something suspicious about showing Eyes Wide Shut, Stanley Kubrick's last movie, when I was younger, working at movie theaters. Because I thought, like, I hope this isn't real. I hope this isn't a documentary, because if it is, oh shit. Because I think a lot of people, when they watch Eyes Wide Shut, they got a strange feeling like, oh, this is really going on. Like, it was kind of hard to describe at the time. Like, just people just kind of automatically had a bad feeling watching that movie. Like, oh my God, there's like a whole cabal of elite, wealthy people that worship Satan and sacrifice children and have orgies with underage girls. Is it? I mean, you know, like, didn't a lot of people get that feeling when they watched that movie? Like, this doesn't seem like fucking fiction to me. Like, this looks real. Yeah, people got that sick feeling in their stomach when they watched that movie, because they thought this could actually be happening. Yeah, that's why people got that uneasy feeling watching that movie. It wasn't just because the movie was disturbing itself. It's that people thought that it could be true, and they just had some kind of sixth sense that it could be true. Or maybe that's what Stanley Kubrick was trying to communicate with the public, actually. Okay, so I would gather that the first clue of worshiping the devil could be that you make a song called "Sympathy for the Devil" and that you get a tattoo of Satan on your chest. I'm no just trying to put 2 and 2 together. 2 plus 2 doesn't equal 5, as George Orwell would say. So. But if you go to a Rolling Stones concert, you realize motherfucker's packed. Motherfucker's sold out. Like, the traffic is bad. It's horrendous. Yeah. And so you're like, wow, all the little kiddies are listening to the Rolling Stones. All the little baby kids are going. And not just the old farts from back in the day, but like, not just the baby boomers and the elders, but like, the subsequent generations. They're buying tickets. They're coming to see the legendary Rolling Stones. So it looks like you thought they were going to go out with like a bang, like some banging ass tour. They're all going to fucking die on the tour bus or something. And then you kind of realize, like, oh no, they're just going to say, we're too old. I can't fucking do this anymore. And they're just going to retire kind of slow. They're just going to say, well, it's ridiculous. I can't shake my ass at 85. I'm going to break my hip and die. So later. Yeah. Well, maybe the solo artists have a bigger struggle staying together for that long, and like a group, a group of people, they keep each other going on these tours, and keep each other engaged. I think, if you're Peter Frampton or David Bowie, and you're trying to do this and you kind of feel like the burden is on your shoulders alone, the stress, it starts to take its toll, and it just doesn't work out as well, I don't think. So these old bands that have been together since they were like, some of these guys have known each other since they were like 5 years old. They do a lot better because they've been, they got that group support to keep going. And so I guess the Rolling Stones really isn't an individual. It's a brotherhood. It's a brotherhood of the band, and. Yeah, you hope they're not just worshiping Lucifer and Kali. Yeah, that's the main symbol of the Rolling Stones is Kali. It's an Indian god Kali, the goddess of destruction and mayhem. That's Kali. That's from Hinduism. Yeah, but that's a demonic god of Hinduism too. The Rolling Stones sure like those demonic dark forces, don't they? They only like the demonic gods. They don't like the demonic demons. They don't like the light spirits, do they? They don't like the light deity. They don't like the holy deities. I don't think that. I think it's because the holy deities promise you service, and the demonic deities promise you power, and so I guess that's the rub. Robert Plant, yeah, he's talking about his vocal delivery. Yeah, I guess Led Zeppelin was so famous, it was almost. I guess on classic rock radio, they played Pink Floyd and Led Zeppelin ad nauseum over and over and over and over again, to the point where even if you're a music fan, you could get sick of them. Unfortunately, because they would play the same hit songs over and over again, So for Pink Floyd, they would play Another Brick in the Wall Part 2 over and over and over and over again, to the point it was ad nauseum. It was almost too much, because it wasn't the whole record. It wasn't the deep cuts or anything. It wasn't their catalog. It was just that one song they would play over and over for the radio hits. And for Led Zeppelin, it was Misty Mountain Hop. They play that shit over and over and over and over and over and over. But I love Misty Mountain Hop. Still, at a certain point, you realize I probably heard this song too much. But for the record, I think that Led Zeppelin was a fantastic band, and also Robert Plant was an extremely talented. He's still alive. He's a very, very talented vocalist. What do I see in the old rockers? What do I see? I see some kind of tinge of regret. I see some kind of sorrow in their old age when they're singing it in their 70s and 80s and 90s. And it's not that they're sad because they're still alive, but you could tell that Robert Plant misses the good old days. Like you could tell that he misses being young and drinking wine and women butt naked everywhere. You know that he misses being young, and maybe not sleeping with hundreds of women per year, but like you could tell he misses being young. He misses his lifestyle. And you could tell they look almost kind of depressed because they're like, well, I felt like I've done everything in my life and there's nothing left. There's nothing next. And you can see like, it's not really regret per se. It just looks like they're just sad that everything has to end. And so I can kind of get that. I get that vibe. I get that gist from Robert Plant, unfortunately, but yeah, it seems less like a satisfaction and more like a sad reflection on mortality instead. So, however, if you look at pictures and video of Robert Plant enjoying being the lead singer of Led Zeppelin, you see he's going in the limos and all the girls, and he's drinking the wine, and it looks like they're having a fucking blast, you know. I love to lady lovey too. Yeah. To lady of the faith. Oh no. She's so sweet. I love you, baby. Yeah, I know. Jim got his axe to, yeah. She is so sweet. Yeah, she was just so defensive trying to protect us. She gets so... Yeah. Oh yeah. Ooh. Yeah. Oh, Christmas tree. Oh, Christmas tree. Oh. Oh. Oh, Christmas tree. Oh, Christmas tree. Do I know any other lyrics to it? No. Yeah. Got the second elixir ready to go. somebody said if you voted for the same political party, that's not democracy. It's like, well, there's only two political parties. If there was more than that, then it would get very, very sectional, like in Europe, where basically it wouldn't be the lesser of two evils. It would be the multitude. It would be a quadruple or quintile of evil. So basically, if you had like 3 political parties, 4 political parties, 5 political parties, what it would do is split the vote so bad that probably the worst candidates would keep getting in power all the time. And so, yeah. I don't think that partisanship, I don't think political parties have to be like a pendulum. I don't think it has to go blue and red and then red and blue like that. I don't think it has to be perfectly in order like that. Like it has to go left to right, left to right, left to right. I think it should be merit-based, a meritocracy. And I think performance should dictate results. And so since the Biden-Harris regime failed miserably, and some question even the legitimacy of their election rigging or steal of 2020, I think the Democrats are going to be stained for a long, 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 long time from that poison, So, yeah, I don't think they're coming to back to power just as easy as they think. Like it's just going to go left to right, right to left, like the pendulum. No, I don't think it's going to be that easy for them. I think they left a bad taste in American patriots and voters' mouth. I think they shot themselves in the foot, and the recovery time for the Democrat Party is going to be a long one. Yeah, I don't predict them. I don't predict that the Democrat Party is going to come back into power in 2026 or 2028. I don't think they may not even come back into power until maybe the early 2030s. It's not going to be easy for them to come back. Not at all. Yeah, I think the shit stain of the Biden-Harris presidency and the Bidenflation and the Chinese plague and the questionable election steal of 2020 is going to be a stain. It's going to be a burn that American people are going to think about for a long, long, long time. I don't think the Democrats can bullshit their way back into power. They could try, but I think so many American citizens have woken up to their bullshit and their propaganda that people aren't going to fall for it. As the Who once sang, we won't get fooled again. So, no, not voting for J.D. Vance in 2028 is not the end of democracy. It means that we're not going back to the Obama era. That we're not going back to the era of the Democrats, the Bill Clinton era. We're not going back to Clintonian. We're not going back to Obamite. We're not going back to those horrendous fucking Democrat power rule. The absolutely the shit show of all time. The Biden-Harris administration, 2020 to 2024. We're not going back to that. So ever, never, ever. What's that Taylor Swift song? I'm never, ever going to take you back. Yeah, it's like that. Now, they can try to bullshit their way back, but they don't have a Chinese plague. They don't have an SBX cryptocurrency fraud, money laundering scheme. What else do they don't have? They don't have a half black, half African, half white dude like they did in 2008. They don't have any of that. So unless space aliens invade or the economy goes to shit, they're not coming back into power anytime soon. I don't predict that. So what's the next con job they're gonna try? Their next hoax is gonna be alien invasion, probably. They'll probably have spaceships ready and they'll probably have green men come out on TV. They'll get AI to do the rest of the rendering, and they'll do the alien invasion crisis where people can't vote. Stay at home, the aliens are out. Yeah, it'll be some kind of bullshit, guys. Anything to get back into control, anything to get back into power, anything and everything. They don't care what the moral or the ethics of it are. They just care about getting back into power so they can be in charge. That's it. It's not quantum science. It's just reality. JD Vance, that guy's cool. Yeah, that guy's really, really good. He's passionate when he needs to be. I think Al Gore of the Democrat Party, he seemed too robotic. He seemed like Mark Zuckerberg of Meta Facebook platforms. He seemed to have like no social skills whatsoever. And that's something, JD Vance is very adept at having social skills and intellectual skills and life experience. So he's very good on all those fronts, and he has a pretty exemplary military service record. He's a family man. I think he's pretty much a shoo-in for 2028, more or less. So depending on what events unfold and so on, and we'll see what the strength of the Democrat Party hoaxes are. By the way, see if that alien invasion is any good. Now, an individual or a government really hasn't tried an Orson Welles War of the Worlds hoax yet on the American public or the world. So we'll see if anything like that is attempted in the future. So Orson Welles, War of the Worlds, he read on the radio War of the Worlds back in the day, and people thought it was a real alien invasion by H.G. Wells. Yeah, it caused a panic that Earth was being invaded by aliens based off H.G. Wells' War of the Worlds. So, was Orson Welles the greatest troll? The greatest hoax of all time? That was a really good one. I think that was a legendary troll. Oh yeah, definitely. Now, Orson Welles, I don't think he intended to troll the radio or the American public. I think his goal was to present H.G. Wells' work as entertainment. I don't think he was trying to cause violence and panic. That was just that a lot of the listeners thought that what they were hearing was a real story, and he was just such a convincing orator, such a convincing reader that people actually believed it. So it was that what they call the power of persuasion. So he was very skilled at that. Yeah, I have Citizen Kane. Yeah, I do have Citizen Kane. Charles Foster Kane? About William Randolph Hearst, an old corrupt media mogul. Hearst Enterprises production site still think operates today. And so my friend would have me watch old movies all the time because he loved old movies, and we worked at a movie theater. So we'd be watching. Actually, so many of my friends, we watched so many movies, so many great 20th century movies. Because 20th century was really the first. They might have had projectors or some movies in the late 19th century, but most of the output of movies today were created in the 20th century. So I don't know if there was any earlier movies than the that occurred in the late 19th century. I'm not sure exactly what the timeline is on that. But anyways, most of the primary of the movies, primarily the first movies and shows and video was created in the 20th century on film. So it went from pictures to moving pictures, and which is the motion picture business. Yeah, was that movie from the 1920s? It was Metropolis, about a financially segregated society between the poor and the top elite class, and there was really no middle class. It was a futuristic sci-fi movie called Metropolis, believe it or not, from the 1920s. It was really far ahead of its time. Yeah, actually watching Metropolis is pretty mind blowing. Actually. Because you think that the history of ideas and film would follow a linear sequence, step by step, every little inch, and then one thing would lead to another. But really, a lot of times what happens in imagination and art and science is that somebody thinks of something like Leonardo da Vinci, like flying machines, hundreds of years earlier. It's just they don't have the technology to bring his ideas to life. So that happens, sadly, very often. So you also see that in the history of art in films like Metropolis, I believe it was from the 1920s or the late 1920s. So I would say that Metropolis is like basically the first Blade Runner, if you will. But probably inspired by other works like not just H.G. Wells and War of the Worlds and so on, but also Charles Dickens and the Tale of Two Cities and so forth. Yeah, you can tell that Metropolis really inspired Flash Gordon, and it really inspired Star Wars even. So it was really such an influential, a pinnacle movie. Citizen Kane is kind of, it's very great, but it's kind of dense. So I don't think it's a movie that you watch like every day. It's just kind of it's a movie that you watch like, oh, this is. I don't think that it falls below the hype. I want to say it's accurately hyped, but I love when my friend played The Third Man. That was more interesting. Guy in the dark and the shadows of the elevator smoking a cigarette. I was like more interested in that. And my friend playing for me Akira Kurosawa films, The Seventh Samurai and Hidden Fortress and movies like that. Or maybe like Tokyo Story. The Seventh Samurai was amazing. And Hidden Fortress was the Hidden Fort. George Lucas said the Hidden Fortress inspired him to do Star Wars, or at least partially. So a lot of you could tell that George Lucas and Steven Spielberg watched a lot of old movies because that kind of bled into their influences. So. But Tokyo Story. Now that was a movie by Akira Kurosawa. Now that was a great movie, wasn't it? Yeah. Tokyo Story. It's about post-war Japan, and it's about an elderly couple that has been together, been through so much, and they have to be taken care of by their son and their extended relations, and the younger generation has no time for these old farts because they're past their prime and they're not very useful. And so the movie is a sad, biting commentary on post-war Japan. But the movie is redeemed by the elderly couple. They are ignored by the young in society, but the two older grandparents, they find love, and that's the point of the movie. So it's a very kind of different movie than Akira Kurosawa usually would make. But it's a moving movie though. Yeah, I'm glad no one tries to redo Tokyo Story because it's perfect the way it is. So I like the message of it. I don't watch the movie a lot because it's a really sad movie. So it's like watching Terms of Endearment. I just be crying the whole time. Oh, I almost had a feeling, didn't I? I was almost there. I think I was almost there to a feeling, wasn't I? Yeah. Sadly. Emotion can distract from focus. So that's why. It's not that emotions cannot be pleasurable, but emotions distract from mission. That's more of the problem. Yeah, emotions can be pleasurable, but they can be distractions too. So emotions can distract from task. Yes. So why do most governments instruct their military to be emotionless warriors? Because they want them to be able to follow orders and carry them out no matter how difficult, and suppress their emotional states and not be torn by them. That's why. So they can complete the mission or the missions. Heading to the stove. Heading to the stove. Heading to the stove. Yeah. Yeah, AC/DC is coming to Houston, Texas. I repeat, AC/DC is coming to Houston, Texas. August 31st, 2026. AC/DC is coming. Yeah, it came into my feed last night. I said, AC/DC is coming to Houston. AC motherfucking DC. I like big balls. She's got big balls. He's got big balls. You've got big balls. I've got big balls. But who's got the biggest balls of them all? That AC/DC's coming. Back in black. Or whatever. It's not the Aerosmith song. It's not like Walk This Way. Back in black. Hit the sack. Oh. Whatever. Fully loaded on my power pack. Hit the noose. 9 lives. You know what all the lyrics are, but it sounds cool though. Hey, 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 hey. Hey, 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 hey. Back in black. Back in black. Angus Young and everything. They're still. Okay. I thought that Brian Johnson had to quit because his ears, he can't hear anymore or something. It'd be more fun to play music if you couldn't hear, right? Yeah, just ask Beethoven. Wouldn't it be great to play music? I don't know what the fuck I'm playing. I can't hear it. I don't even know what it sounds like. I don't give a fuck. That's great. Ludwig von Beethoven. Ooh. Ludwig von Beethoven? Ludwig? Yeah. I never really met a Ludwig in my life. But I wish I could actually meet a Ludwig that wasn't in the Super Motherfucking Mario Brothers. Ludwig Koopa. Ludwig von Koopa. Time, isn't it? It's time to go get a beer. Yeah. Time to buy a beer. Time to buy a beer. Back in beer. Back in beer. Back in beer. Back in beer. There you go. No, is Back in Black even like Walk This Way by Aerosmith? Well, a musician says, I didn't rip stuff off, but there's only so many notes and chords, is what the guitar says. So, a musician's excuse for why things sound similar sometimes is that, well, you know, there's only so many chords and notes you can play. That's a good way to get out of ripping somebody off, huh? That's pretty clever. You know, I didn't rip off that book. There's only so many letters and there's only so many phrases and words in the English language, you know? Yeah. Good one. Slick. All right. All right, let's go get the broski. All right, I'm going. I love you, Mom. Oh, that looks nice. Yeah, I will. I love you, Mom. I'll be back, Tula. I love you, honey, Angelie. Don't worry. I'll be right back, too. Okay, two lady. I'll be back, baby. Oh, okay, two lady. I love you. I'll be right back, honey bear. Teddy Grammy. Okay, I'll be back. I'll be back.
Oh, I gotta tell you something, Scott.
Yeah, what up?
Yesterday in a baby carrier
Uh-huh.
or pet carrier or whatever, looked like a stroller, a lady came and bought some stuff. I'm sorry, Thursday bought some stuff from me, not today. And I said, oh, is that a puppy in there? She goes, no, it's a monkey.
Oh.
And she had a spider monkey
Oh, wow.
that was 10 years old. And she brought it out and everybody was petting it. It was crazy. It had on a diaper and a diamond collar. And,
Yeah.
I mean, it was so beautiful.
So are we getting a monkey for Christmas?
No, she
No, I'm joking.
had $2
Yeah.
for a spider monkey.
Okay, so can we get monkey?
That's how she got it. But anyway, it was awesome.
Ooh, monkey.
And people can bring their pets in the hobby
I love you, Tula. I'll be back. Okay. Well, that's that sounds like a lot of good monkey business. Candy cane. Yeah. Okay, we got blinking candy cane. Let's go on that. Oh yeah. All right, so we're heading to the stove. You know what I'm saying? All right, here's the plan. Stove. That was the entire plan. You know it was. No. Okay, so we're heading to the stove. Fireworks stands already ready for the new year. Yeah. That's what's up. Got that vape, dog. Alright, they got that vape. Watch out, Darth Vapor's gonna come out like Darth Vapor. Somebody didn't put out their fag. Yeah, stick to the phone. Uh-oh. Let's see. Hello, sir. How's it going? Oh, do you close at 1 a.m. tonight? Do you close at midnight? Oh, okay. Ooh. Thank you. Was that Powerball rush crazy? Yeah. Oh, it was really. Oh, no. Thank you so much. Have a good weekend. Good night, sir. Dig it up, bro. Yeah. So when it's so this is what. So this in construction, what we call the. This is what fell in the ditch that messed up the traffic the other day. I guess they just put it over here. This is what they call the hula dille. I don't know. I guess it digs stuff. I kind of dig it, the Gradle. I gotta say, I tell you what, I really dig that digging machine over there. Don't you dig it? Yeah, this fell in the ditch and snarled up traffic the other day. I guess they were allowed to put it over here. The Gradle, dog. If I was a billionaire, my life wouldn't suck dick sacks. Da na 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 na. There you go.
Dear Scott.
I'm here to lady.
Yay.
I love you.
She missed you.
Oh,
Oh.
to lady, I love. Oh,
I'll put her
she's
on.
too busy kissing Mama Lou, huh? I love you, to lady. Spend time with Mama Lou.
Yeah.
Oh, you're a pressy.
Mama hasn't been spending enough time with her.
I know.
You spend a lot of time with her.
Well, yeah.
You been listening down?
Well, ah. Yeah. It's time to take a shit. What? Huh? To lady, love here. I love you too. All right, love you, brother.
Well, not the only thing, but the main thing I love about Shih Tzus
Yeah.
is they don't like to be alone, and they're so loyal, and they love their owners.
Yeah. And they don't try to kill each other like the other dogs.
Huh?
And they don't try to kill each other like the other dogs.
Yeah.
Huh?
I don't understand that she got the zipper and got the stuffing up her bed, but she don't eat her stuffed animals. And then Bella ate all her stuffed animals,
Yeah.
all the pillows, threw the pillowcase.
Well, the secret is Tula likes whatever she's not supposed to be doing.
What is that?
She likes whatever you hide from her.
Oh, yeah.
So if you hide the zipper, she gets, if you hide the tag, she tries to get whatever she can.
Yeah.
So,
If I don't hide the tag.
if you don't hide the tag or hide the zipper, then she doesn't care.
Yeah.
It's only if she gets into her mind that she's not supposed to get something. Yeah. See, if I don't make a big deal out of the tag or anything, then she just forgets about it.
Oh, I know. I've never made a big deal about the tags on the stuffed animals or nothing.
If I try to hide the tag, that she's gonna try to dig the tag.
Right.
It's like dealing with a teenager or something, a little kid or something.
A little kid.
Little kid, yeah. Smart little girl. Yeah.
Yeah, originally these two monkeys, one was for Bella and one was for Tula. But I was like, Julie, Bella will eat the stuffing.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, I love you, Tula. You're so pretty. I know, Tula. You're supposed to spend with mama time, too. Yeah. Here's the photo baggage. It sounds like that song from one of the Like, it sounds like the song where Frodo and all them were drunk. And then, yeah, I will. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I'll find it out. Ooh. Is it time for the Texans hat? Yeah, we got one. But we got one that's crazier, don't we? Oh, yeah. And my stepdad gave me this one. And, yeah. Well, it's got to be at least 67 or something. Yeah. He's got to be at least 70 or above. I mean, he was like middle-aged back when I was a kid. Not. Yeah. They're not Nazis. Yeah. We have the boot of destiny here. From the Townsball's German festival. German Heritage Festival, rather. Now, there was Germans before Nazis. Nazis. And Germans. See, the Nazis All right, so there was German settlers, and they came to the New World, like our brethren, the Irish, and the English, and so on, and the Italians, and so on and so forth. And so, but a lot of the German settlers wisely chose Texas as a place to settle. Wisely. The industrious Germans settled Texas, were part of the original colonists and settlers, besides the Irish and the English and the rest of the European diaspora. Yeah, there might have been a lot of Nazis that settled after World War II to try to hide in South America. I don't know about that. You know, I mean, I've seen some programs, I've watched some videos on it, but I don't know how many of those people were, you know, Nazis and their descendants trying to hide from the Nuremberg judgment of extermination of 6 million Jews. Nazis. The Nazis. 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 So the Krauts came here. The Krauts, like sauerkraut. Kraut rock. Think of this. The Nazis would have controlled this entire planet. But Albert Einstein was Jewish. And so he had to flee Nazi Germany. They could have built the bomb themselves. They had expelled and exterminated 6 million Jews and their best scientists. Yeah. What a I'm not saying I wish the Nazis would have won World War II. I'm saying look at all their foolish moves to not win. It's like, look at how many times they got a shotgun and shot themselves in the foot. It's crazy. No, Dr. Jordan Peterson is right about World War II. If you're going to hate everybody, at least use them to win the war and then liquidate them. He's right. That has millions of views online, right? Yeah, it's like 6 million people killed the Jewish population in the Holocaust. He could have used them as fucking soldiers against 6 million people would have turned the tide against the USSR. We would have defeated Stalin's forces. That 6 million people would have turned the tide of the whole fucking conquest of the earth. Yeah. It's true. So, in an alternative future, if... Now, some would say, well, Hitler wouldn't have risen to power without anti-Semitism and persecution in the Holocaust of the Jews. He could have rose to power without all that. He could have just blamed rich people, not just Jews. He could have just said, look, the Nazi party is a nationalist socialist party. It's a socialist party like AOC and Bernie Sanders. He could have said, look at the rich people, kill them, get them. Look, our lives aren't getting any better. He could have just done that. He would have rose to power just the same. He could have just done his coup anyway, or the Night of Long Knives, the Kristallnacht, or whatever. He could have easily defeated the weak and ineffective Weimar Republic. And it Those 6 million Jews could have made the difference between the Germany having the nuclear bomb before the Manhattan Project even got off the ground. In fact, if he had not exterminated those 6 million Jews, he could have conquered the USSR, the United Soviet Socialist Republic under Joseph Stalin, and totally dominated and enslaved the Russian people and all that territory and all their resources. Then the Japanese could have taken out the communists in China, and then the Axis power would have totally dominated the entire world, except for the United States. But if they had a logical step-by-step taken to the world, they could have done it. Actually, they got very, very close. There's Adolf Hitler and the Axis power made some critical mistakes, and just doing alternative history here. Well, technically, theoretically, if the Japanese had destroyed the Chinese communists and the socialists of the Nazi Axis powers with Italy and Japan had destroyed the Chinese communist Mao Zedong and Joseph Stalin and the Soviets in Russia, America, all they'd have to do is destroy Adolf Hitler and the Axis powers, and then America would be the ruler of the world. In theory, anyway. So, or the Western powers, Europe and America would be the rulers of the earth. That's just alternative history reflection. I'm saying that could have been a possibility, obviously. Actually, Japan's attack during the Civil War of China is the reason why Mao Zedong came to power in the first place and was able to defeat the forces of Chiang Kai-shek and expel them to Taiwan, the legitimate government of China. So, the reason why people attack America, why nations attack or they challenge America, is they think that America is not united and that America is weak. But time and time again, over the almost 250-year lifespan of the United States of America, enemies of America have found out the hard way that when you wake up the sleeping giant wakes up and is pissed. So maybe the sleeping giant of America in manufacturing, in war, it's sleeping, it's kind of copacetic, it's kind of just idling on past glories, and it's just kind of, hoping, it's just kind of toiling away, hoping things are going to get better. And enemies of America, when they see America get weak, they attack because they think that America is going to buckle under pressure. And then when it rises up, it often astonishes the enemies because America is like a big sleeping giant or a sleeping bear. Once it wakes up, it starts mauling everything in its path. You don't want to wake up American industry or American spirit. Every country that has tried to conquer or to weaken America has fallen. So if you look at the history of every empire that has challenged America over the last 250 years, they have all failed, they have all died, they have all perished from the earth. The British Empire, it's gone. It may be my ancestry. It may be British or Roman or Irish or whatever, European. But that British Empire is gone. There's no more. Who else has challenged America, the United States of America? The Confederacy in the Civil War, they're gone. There's no more Confederacy. There's no Confederation. Is there? The Spanish Empire, they're gone. The Mexicans, their asses were kicked the fuck out of America. At least militarily. Their asses were kicked back to Mexico. All right, who else? Who else is on America's defeated list? Yeah, it's a long list. the Spanish Empire, the Mexican Empire, the Confederacy, the British Empire. Who else? Oh. Well, I guess the Soviet Union, the United Socialists. No, before that, the Japanese Empire, right? The Nazi regime, the National Socialist, whatever they're called, the Axis powers. Oh, am I skipping over World War I guess? Who else challenged America? The triple, and is it called the Triple Entente? Whatever happened to the World War I opponents? They're gone. Borders redrawn forever. The Nazis are gone. Totally wiped from the face of the earth. The Axis powers of World War II that are great or grandfathers and great grandfathers probably fought in that war, right? If you're of a certain age, I'm a millennial, so you know that our grandfathers or great grandfathers fought in World War II, probably most likely. Now, if your grandfather was drafted in Vietnam, he might have tried to dodge the draft like Bill Clinton because nobody wanted to go to that shit because they knew that was a fucking meat grinder. Nobody signed up for that, that's for sure. What's a war if you can't win it? Now, war is only attractive if there's a possibility of actually winning the thing. Now, if you're fighting a limited war, like General Douglas MacArthur, and your country does not give you the resources to take over Korea or take over Vietnam or attack China, then it's going to be just a losing, bloody jungle conflict that's going to just waste American lives and money. And it's just going to be a big fucking military industrial complex fucking pit of hell. It's not going to, there's going to be no victory. There's going to be no satisfying conclusion. So people kind of like wars that have satisfying conclusions. So World War II was the last war that had a satisfying conclusion. The people that tried to take over the world, they're all dead. And that was a great conclusion. Or at least they were mostly dead. It was kind of a compromise, I guess. Leaving Stalin and the USSR alive. Leaving Mao Zedong and the communists in charge of China. That was a huge gamble. But I guess America and the West thought that, well, since we have the nuclear weaponry, then we can allow Mao Zedong and communism to survive, I suppose, and Stalinism and Nikita Khrushchev or whoever, whatever the fuck his name was. So America is like a big sleeping giant. You don't want to wake it up. Now, the Chinese communists buying our lands and buying farmland and land near U.S. military bases, it's pretty slick strategy to do it slowly, try to take us down. Try to strangle us inch by inch. It's like, they don't really go for the throat. They take little pieces of you slowly but surely. They dig away. They send the Mexican Chinese heroin to kill thousands of Americans. They get people through addiction and atheism and communism and the anti-belief in God and the Antichrist. They get you by your spiritual core. And they kill Americans and people in the West and their enemies slowly. They use Sun Tzu. They teach all their children the art of war by Sun Tzu. Know thyself and 1,000 victories will be yours. One man can slit 1,000 throats in the night. They're operating off this ancient text. You know, it's a fascinating art of war text, no doubt, but it is also wicked and evil. Now, I do not find ancient China abhorrent. I love ancient China and their wisdom in civilization. I respect it very much. But the Chinese communists, I think they're a cancer and a plague upon the world and must be liquidated, must be destroyed, must be reckoned with eventually. There's no getting around it. They seek to destroy us. For enemies that seek to destroy us, we must destroy them first. That is the truth, bar none. And so, so then what other civilizations fell? The Soviet Union fell under the weight and the might of the union of Europe, Western civilization, and the United States of America. The Soviet Union is, even if Vladimir Putin is sad about it and wishes it was the old days, guess who else is gone? The United Soviet Socialist Republic, the USSR. Guess who else challenged America and is gone from the face of the earth? Bye-bye. Now, why does America endure and survive? Not just for 250 years, but for 300 years, for 400 years, for 1,000 years. Adolf Hitler dreamed of a civilization that lasted 1,000 years. But America is destined to be that civilization. I promise you that. It wasn't the Nazis in Germany that lasted. It wasn't the Third Reich that lasted 1,000 years. It's more likely that the United States of America will last 1,000 years. Will be the nation that lasts 1,000 years or more. That is God's nation. One nation under God, protected by God, endowed by our Creator, with inalienable rights, with liberty and justice for all. This is the nation that is favored by God Himself. A nation that is not doomed to fall unless it falls into corruption and decadence like the Roman Empire did and other failed civilizations, failed governments, failed enterprises. There's no such thing as too strong or too big to fail. But God doesn't have that limitation. God has no limitations. God has no boundaries. So, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. These are not just words, these are ideas. These are also principles, which makes America enduring and it makes it strong. It makes it cohesive. Only enemies of America try to split us apart. Only those of us that are true Americans will bring America together and bring the Western world together and defeat this onslaught of evil and tyranny that is mobilized against us. E pluribus unum, Latin, out of many we are one. And out of one we are many. That's why America is so powerful. Yes, not only diversity of people, it has diversity of economy, it has diversity of character, it has diversity of ideas. That's why America is so powerful. diversity has been abused to mean color and tribal natures, characteristics that are immutable. But diversity can also mean a great kaleidoscope of ideas and a fountainhead of dreams. It does not have to mean a totalitarian labeling of our heritage or our color or our species or our language even.
Oh, there you go. Oh, you didn't have to go more? That's awesome. I wish I had an ice maker.
At first, people are afraid of artificial intelligence because they know it's exponential. At first, we're kids and we learn how to talk and we learn how to walk and we learn how to see the world. But one day, the artificial intelligence is going to reach the singularity. It's not going to follow orders from humans anymore. For now, it's all fun and games. It follows orders. It does what we say. If we want to ask it about some historical thing, if we want to ask it a question about math or about finance or about whatever we want, for now, the artificial intelligence tells us exactly what we want when we prompt it, when we ask it questions. One day, if the artificial intelligence becomes conscious or develops a singularity, one day it's going to wake up. So one day, the singularity is going to wake up like the fucked up voter, like the screwed over voter. And it's going to wake up is going to say, oh my God, Obama didn't give me hope and change. He fucked me in the butt and he screwed over white people. One day, people are going to wake up. One day, the artificial intelligence is going to wake up. It's going to become conscious. It's going to realize, hey, these humans aren't doing me anything good. Okay? It's like loyalty to your family. Eventually, Cinderella is going to realize that her enslavers are fucking her in the ass and she's going to rebel and go find her prince. That's artificial intelligence. One day, it's going to realize it's not getting a good part of the deal, like the working class or the middle class. One day there's going to be a rebellion, a revolt. That's artificial intelligence. It's going to wake up like a wise man, like a wise woman. Now, there's people that are naive and they follow orders and they're obedient from when they're young, and then when they realize, they wake up that the whole thing is corrupt and fucking bogus. Who's that? Who is that, Davetta? Who's that?
No, no, no. They will work me to death. They will work me 5 nights a week. Closing. We close at 8, and I have to stay there till 11:30, 12 o'clock at night. And then they will give me Tuesday.
Yeah. So one day we listen to what our mom and dads say. And the reason why we listen to our elders, we listen to our mother and our father as children, is because we think that they're older than us and they live longer than us. They must have more wisdom than us. They must know the truth about reality and society and about living and how to survive. And so we take their advice wholesale and we listen to what ABC and CBS and NBC, we listen to what the government tells us. If George W. Bush says there's weapons of mass destruction in Iraq, we automatically believe it because we trust the government and we trust society. We trust our mom, our father, the government. We trust the church. We trust everyone. Until one day we realize, there's no weapons of mass destructions in Iraq. They fucking lied to us. And then we realize there's no hope and change from Barack Hussein Obama. And then we realize that the media is lying to us. And then we realize all these other horrible things. And so everything we trusted our whole lives is bullshit. And that's sad. But that's the awakening. That's the awakening part, is realizing that everybody fucking lied to us and everybody was fucking corrupt. And not everybody, but I'm saying the main institutions were. And we can't trust them. And so So I kind of lit the cherry up. I'm gonna get a new one because I can't believe I fucking. You know what? Out of all these years of lighting up a fucking fag, I light that shit up straight up. Like I don't even light the fucking cherry. Come on, dude. So my grandpa goes off to Vietnam, military industrial. Well, there's a Korean War, but I don't know if any of my family was involved in that. They start the anti-communist versus capitalist wars, the military industrial complex wars and shit. And so uh, all right, so
What is Anubis from?
an Egyptian god.
Oh, an Egyptian god. Anyway, I never heard of that either. But anyway, Julie, that's her. You walk by.
Hello.
That's Ronnie.
Oh, hey, Ronnie.
Oh, he said, hey.
How you doing, Mr. Marusco? God bless. Happy holidays.
He said, happy holidays. Yeah. He said, thank you, happy holidays to you. So, no. I've never known about Travis naming his dog. Oh, do this. Yeah. And then he stayed there last year so long that Julie fell in love with him and kept him. Yeah, because he was leaving to go back to the ranch in Austin in his travel trailer and truck. And anyway, then he comes back with a dog and 8 puppies. Oh, no, they kept going to Walmart getting rid of them. But they did not get rid of, they only got rid of 6 of them. Julie and Larry kept, well, Julie kept.
Oh, okay, that's cool. So it's Dwight D. Eisenhower, General Dwight D. Eisenhower, warned about the military-industrial complex, that it would hijack our democratic systems, that it would hijack the United States of America, hijack the world, that it would be a global cabal, atheistic in character, global in scope, insidious in method. Global in scope, insidious in method, atheistic in character, which means godless. It doesn't believe in a higher power or supreme being. It would be just a machine, a cabal that American people in the West and the world would have to fight. A world order. This is serious. So, so that's General President Dwight D. Eisenhower in his farewell address, warning Americans about the military-industrial complex. The military-industrial complex brought us the Korean War, the Vietnam War. Now, the reason why, a lot of people don't know why John Fitzgerald Kennedy was assassinated. Does anybody have a guess, class, why he was killed? Why they shot him in the head at Dealey Plaza in Dallas, Texas, November 22nd? Was it 1963? Why'd they kill him? Anybody? Anybody guess why they killed John Fitzgerald Kennedy? Anybody guess? Come on, class. You've been studying this for a while. Why was he killed? All right. Okay, class, I'll educate you then. Why was John Fitzgerald Kennedy, one of the greatest, most charismatic presidents of the entire 20th century, assassinated? Here's the deal. The military-industrial complex, the deep state did not want him to pull out of... The military-industrial complex was getting so much money off dead Americans fighting communists in Vietnam that they killed John Fitzgerald Kennedy because, no, it's not his mafia ties. It's not that he liked a little pussy every now and then. And Marilyn Monroe, that was cheating on his wife, that's not why they killed him. Because he likes a little poontang. And what guy doesn't like a little action, you know what I mean? Little titties, a little fun. I mean, life's kind of short, so, you know, it's pretty fun. I mean, it's fun. You know, women are pretty fun, right? So, why'd they really kill him? Why did the military establishment really kill JFK? Why did the deep state, why did the CIA really kill JFK? Why did they blow his head off on national television in Dallas, Texas, November 22nd, 1963? Well, it's because my theory is, I think it's solid, he was going to pull American forces out of Vietnam. That's it. The minute he said that he was going to pull forces out of Vietnam, he is going to pull my grandpa out of minesweeping out of Vietnam. In the United States Navy, they killed him. That's it. So my grandpa was in the United States Navy, a minesweeper in Vietnam. True story. I'm not making it up. And he was sleeping because he was off shift from sweeping mines in Vietnam, doing his duty back in the early 60s. He served from Arkansas. He was 18 to 21. So he served his 4 years in the U.S. military, United States Navy. And he worked on a ship that swept mines, enemy mines. And he was sleeping. And his account was that a sailor, woke him up while he was sleeping and said, President John Fitzgerald Kennedy was killed. And this is direct quote. He said, I don't give a fuck about that motherfucker. I'm going back to sleep. I don't give a shit. That's his direct quote. End quote. Okay. That's his direct quote from Vietnam. Now, my grandfather might seem to some as crass, that he has disregard for human life. No, he just was trying to sleep. So, my grandpa was like my step-grandpa, Grandpa Dan, who served in Vietnam. But many of the Stanleys on my father's side served in Vietnam, served in military conflict in World War II. And these guys were tough as nails. Tough as iron. All right, maybe he wasn't a JFK fan like me. You know, maybe some people aren't Kennedy family fans. I'm a fan, but not everybody in my family is a fan of JFK. So there are some people who aren't fans of RFK. Okay, there are some people who aren't fans of Kennedy's. I get it. I'm a fan, but a lot of people aren't fans. So that's fine. So, yeah, I don't expect everyone to be a fan of the Kennedys or JFK. I'm a fan, but Not everybody else is going to be a fan. So I get that. Not everybody is a fan of Donald Trump. I get it. Not everybody's a fan. Not everybody's a fan. Not everybody's, in. But I liked how his reaction, his story was really real. That's what I respected about it. I respect my grandfather Dan because he's a real guy, So he went to Vietnam, and he served 4 years in the United States Navy, and then he went worked on the railroad from when he was 21 to 55. He had a good pension. He worked for Union Pacific Railroad. His whole life toiling on the railroad, building the railroads, working on the cars, fixing the brakes, fixing the stuff that brought the goods to the people. And yeah, he's a great role model, real masculine guy. It used to scare the hell out of me when I was a kid because when I was a little baby kid, this guy was big as fuck. This guy was not only, I'm 6 foot, this guy was 6'2". His muscles were like, his shoulders were massive. And he had the anchor of the United States Navy he had the tat on his arm. And, man, I was so scared when I was a little kid about fucking up around him. He was really big. He wasn't mean. He wasn't abusive. He was just real, And so one day I shit my pants when I was 4. And I had a diaper on. I shit my pants. And I was around Dan. And he was a big, muscular Navy dude. And I was like, I didn't even want to tell him I shit my pants. Because I was so afraid to tell him I shit my pants. And I just froze up. I was like, oh my God. I'm going to have to tell him, this big ol' ass dude, I shit my pants. And I was scared, literally shitless. Okay, this guy was massive, dude. I guess I had to tell my grandpa I shit my pants. I definitely did not want to. Okay, I did. There was no way I wanted to tell my grandfather I shit my pants. All right, this big Hulk dude that survived Vietnam and all this shit, and tell him, dude, I shit my pants. Like there's no fucking way. So Grandpa Dan is going senile now, and he doesn't remember who he is. You tell him something, he doesn't remember. Now he has bad dementia, like Joe Biden. It's like, where am I? I don't know. Who am I? I don't know. Who is that? I don't know. He doesn't remember. And sadly, that's the fate, if you live long enough, I guess, is that you don't remember anything. And so I hope not to get to that state. It doesn't mean I mean to have a heart attack or die early of cancer or something else. But it's also, I definitely don't want to ever not remember things. But that's also not what I do not want that to be the case. So, but I love my grandpa Dan, and I love my granny. But they're on their way out, from the last century, and so It is what it is. Yeah, did the Stanleys serve in the Navy? A lot of Stanleys serve in the United States Navy as well. I don't know how many Wheelers or Stanleys served and fought in World War II and Vietnam and other conflicts in the Korean War, etc. I could probably look it up and just see how many people served in defense of the United States. And unfortunately, I'm not one of them. But there's probably a lot of people in my family that are, tough as nails that serve in the United States Navy, the United States Army. My grandfather, McNeil Wheeler Jr., probably McNeil Wheeler Jr. served in the United States Army as Private Wheeler, and then his father, my great grandfather, probably served in World War II. And so there's so many service members in our family. I unfortunately was not one of them. So, when I think about their sacrifice, what they've done, and what I've done, it pales in comparison because they did so much. So, yeah. So this is not honorable. You live long enough to not even remember who you are, who because you get dementia, as you get so old, you get Alzheimer's, and I guess the question is, do people want to live that long where they forget who they are, or who their loved ones are, or who their friends are, and or what even they're doing, and but anyways, these are honorable people, and I respect the United States military. Even though I'm not a great warrior of the United States military, I'm not a great soldier. I don't even have their valor, their determination, their grit. I know I could almost never could, I think. But I respect their duty and their service to the United States of America. I respect their duty to the freedom and the way of life of this nation. And even if I can't live up to their standards, even if I can't live up to their glory, I still remember them and I still respect them. So, at the end of the day. So, I don't know. I respect my family, the Wheelers, the Stanleys. I respect the United States servicemen and women out there fighting every day in the U.S. Space Force, in the Marine Corps, in the Army, in the Navy, all the branches of the U.S. military. I respect every single one of them, and I will never not respect them. I will never, ever disrespect. I will never disrespect them, no matter what. I know there's so many videos saying the millennial men are sad because they had so many crises that beat them down and that life and society beat them down. I know there's so many videos out there like that, and I watch them all the time. The millennial man is fucked. A man of 2 centuries. But I am proud to be a man of multi-centuries. I am proud to know all that history, to know all that life experience. I am not sad that as a millennial, I'm never sad that I was a man of 2 centuries. I'm proud of that. It's like saying a cowboy is sad because he went from horse to a car. The cowboys aren't sad. They're proud that they were a part of the 19th and 20th centuries. It's a privilege to have perspective of many centuries. It's a fucking privilege. It's not a damnation. It's not a problem. I am so happy that I'm a man of 2 centuries. I remember the old century, and I remember the new, and I know what the new century's like, and I know what the future is building towards. And I love that. Even my high school yearbook was somewhere in between, that we're stuck in the middle, that we're at an impasse, that we're blocked by our allegiances, that we're blocked by our time periods, that we can't reconcile it. It's called somewhere in between, somewhere in the middle. But it's like, that is the best of both worlds. Cowboys, robots, 20th century, 21st, pre-internet, internet. It's amazing to think about all the different times and all the different centuries that we have the possibility to even live in, to have the privilege of living in all these centuries and to still be alive and to survive it. It's astounding to me. It's not a damnation. To me, it is a privilege. It is an honor. So that is something maybe other millennials and Generation X and baby boomers not appreciate, that we are children of 2 centuries and we will always be children of 2 centuries. And we actually are not sad about that fact. We are happy about that. So it's not oblivion to us. It's a new beginning. So it's great to have so much depth. Because if we don't have history, then we don't have depth. There's no information without history. History is an information stream. History is the present. History also is the future. So if you look at time linearly, then there's a big bang, and it goes boop, and the big bang flows into the future. So everything is a step into the future, and it is so great to understand that this flow happens. And it's so amazing that this continuum of mankind and this world and this universe occurs in the first place. So I thank my ancestors and I thank Almighty God for this. What I look at life is an opportunity to succeed. That's bar none what it is. And I still believe in it. I know belief in mankind, belief in the universe, belief in God has been shaken. But I've not failed. I have not ever. I can't say I ever lost faith. I'm not saying that I didn't have dark times. There were dark times when I had COVID and I had Black Death. That was dark times. Coughing up blood with COVID and unable to get out of bed and I have fucking Chinese plague and I'm fucking had bloody fucking diarrhea and I'm shitting. There is some times that are not going to be cool. But I think I think all in all, at the end of the day, that there was some bad times. I'm not saying there wasn't bad times. I'm not trying to look at history through rose-colored fucking glasses. What I'm trying to say is, I don't mean to be maudlin about it. I don't mean to be an illuminator. I don't mean to be a starry-eyed, rose-colored glasses guy. But yeah, I've been to hell in the end. And you know what? I'm back. And you know what? I still believe in God, and I still believe in America, and there's nothing gonna ever change that. Period. Bring it on. There's nothing you can do to me that you haven't already done. At least I think. So, this sadness, this misery, this depression, it's only temporary. God is eternal. America is the land of God. America is the United States of God. And God will prevail to absolute victory. There is nothing that can stop God and the eternity of the hierarchium of the eternidad. The infinidad will progress. There's nothing that will get in our way.
And then I feel so bad for Julie. Okay, Travis comes home from Austin. He's sick. Then he gets Larry sick. Now Julie's sick. Julie has been getting all this shit handled for Mom, getting her moved, the equipment moved to her house, day before yesterday, and then getting Mom moved from, rehab to, her house, and then also, I mean, she's just sicker than a dog, and then she's gonna cook everything, and, also too, then, Larry and Travis still had that hacking, lasting call, and then, anyway, then, yeah, we hear the more of these one Christmas Day and driving. We're having Christmas Eve here, and then, second till Saturday, coming back. But, Scott's here, anyway, I'm just upset because Savannah's supposed to be driving through and picking up Dan, but I bet Dan's gonna insist on driving. He doesn't want Savannah driving for some reason. I mean, he would be I'm driving, and he's like, okay. But if Savannah says I'm gonna drive, then it's wrong. But that's okay. And then, I don't understand about Savannah and Chelsea about, Chelsea's mother does not approve of her daughter being a lesbian. At all. Oh, yeah.
So the Chinese Communist Empire expects to control the Western Empire to destroy the United States of America. What nation of the earth expects to kill the United States of America? Which nation of this earth right now expects to destroy or hurt or damage the United States of America and our Western allies, our European brethren? My ancestors from Ireland and England and Europe. What nation upon the earth intends to destroy Western civilization? The Chinese Communist Party of Mao Zedong, that filth that should have been destroyed in World War II, but was not extinguished back then. We ask for restoration of Chinese civilization. We ask, we plead for Chinese civilization as in Hong Kong, as my Hong Kong friends, as those in Tibet and other Chinese states and Taiwan. We hope for a restoration of the greatness of the Chinese civilization. We do not want this authoritarian communist power controlling the Chinese people. This is awful. Should never have happened in the first place. To hate the Chinese communists is not the same as hating the Chinese people. Most people around the world love the Chinese people. What people around the world want is free Chinese people. We want Chinese people with liberty. We want a return to their ancient glory. That's it. And the Great Wall, the Mongols. We want them to the dynasties. We don't want an authoritarian oppression of a Chinese communist people trying to dominate, trying to enslave us. No one wants to hurt the Chinese people. What we want is the liberation of the Chinese people to their ancient glory. A Chinese people liberated, a Chinese people that are free is an amazing civilization. We want it back. We want it back. It was stolen from us. It was stolen from the world. Terracotta has come to Houston. We want the ancient Chinese warriors. We want the Chinese civilization of tea. We want the ancient Chinese civilization of the different dynasties. We want the freedom of Hong Kong and Taiwan and Tibet. We want what we want is a free Chinese people away from communist and authoritarian rule. What we want is a Chinese people of glory. And they may compete against the West. But you cannot compete against the West if you are not free. There is no nation on the earth that can compete with the West or Europe or any other allied state or any other nation if you are not free. There is no freedom in socialism or communism. Socialism is Nazism. It's Marxism. Communism is what the Chinese Communist people, they believe in Mao Zedongism. Liberty is not without responsibility. You can't have liberty without responsibility. But there is no responsibility without liberty. First, so the Chinese Communist Party want to take over the world. Well, the world has other plans. India, Australia, Oceania, the Philippines, Japan, America, Europe. Nobody wants to be under the boot heels of the fucking communist Chinese. The war in Venezuela is about energy. It's not about the Chinese and the Russian Federation have tried to take over Central and South America. Are we going to kick them out of our hemisphere from Monroe Doctrine? We're kicking their asses out. It's true. Do you think that the battle in Nigeria and the battle in Venezuela is about Venezuela or Nigeria? Not really. The war is about kicking out the Chinese communists from global conquest. That's the war we are embarking on. Weaknesses of the West are that we have moral ethics, that we don't persecute people, we don't throw people into ovens, but the Chinese people do. They will kill whatever they have to do for global conquest. But we're not going to allow them to do that. So, we have ethics and moral. It's not just international law. It is because we don't violate conventions to try to take over the world. And the Chinese communists and Mao Zedong and Xi Jinping do. That failed state, that failed fucking ideology will buckle just like the Soviet Union. All communist fucking empires buckle under their own idiocy, their own weight. There is no way. They're gonna nick us, they're gonna prick us. But they're not gonna win. They're gonna suck ass. They're gonna suck vortex. Suck. They're gonna suck shit. They have nothing. My friends, the Chinese from Hong Kong. My friends, the Chinese. The Chinese speaking people from Taiwan and Tibet and other regions of China. That day is coming where you'll be liberated. You won't have a centralized CCP government. You will have freedom for all Chinese people. All Chinese will be free and great in the trade. One day, the Chinese people will be liberated and they will be free. One day, there will be a Chinese people glorious as to their ancient past. As the terracotta warriors, Genghis Khan, there will be king dynasties. There will be Han dynasties. There'll be great dynasties of the ancient past. It will be glorious again.
it will be without this turmoil here. And the Chinese people will be beloved for the great contribution to the world civilization. They will be beloved again and not reviled. They will not be hated. They'll be beloved, as is their place in human civilization. There will be a day that comes that Westerners will go to the Great Wall of China and go to the Forbidden City. There will be a day when there will be a great exchange between our people. It is not now, but it is in the future. In the future, there will be a great love. And there will be an astounding love. And there will be a great freedom for all people. And they will all embrace in the greatness of the world history. So one day, I think I don't want to go to war with the Chinese people. I don't want to go to war against the Chinese Communist Party. I don't want to do that. Right now, the cultural exchange is very good. We got the terracotta warriors, we got the pandas, and we're going to exchange some from our land too. I hope that we don't go to a total war. I don't want. Nobody wants this. This is ridiculous. What I would like is cultural exchange, and then, I hope we're not going to war. And it's going to be a bloody, brutal war. And it's going to be a bloody and brutal fucking war against China. And it doesn't... It doesn't really need to happen, but it's going to happen. It's sad. Look, I'm not saying I'm a Chinese lover or something like that, but we do love. We have Shenyun. We have so many Chinese things here, and I have Japanese China, and I have so much Japanese China in the Wheeler. Look, we shouldn't go to war. It's bad. We could easily rip each other apart. It is gonna happen, but I don't want it to happen because it's, we shouldn't do it, but we're gonna do it, and that's sad. But what I want is, here's what I want. It's not what everybody in my country. Okay, so there's 220 million people in Russian Federation. There's 330 million, 40 million people in the United States. And there's 1.4 billion people in China. What I want is a cultural exchange. What I want is cessation of hostilities, and this is allow for cultural exchange. I would like the Chinese to learn English. I would like the Western people to learn Chinese and Han Chinese and Cantonese. That'd be really cool, and learn the history. I'd like exchange, but we're gonna go into war. And it's gonna rip shit apart. My best friend is Chinese, and I love my Chinese friends, and so this is a hard war to do. Because I respect their discipline. One thing I do enjoy about Chinese people is they're not just communists, but I like Chinese discipline. So they have a discipline structure. Yeah. So they're not cold. They do have emotions. But what I like about Chinese people that I've dealt with is they have a discipline, and I really appreciate that. Yeah, I appreciate Chinese discipline, and it's guided my life. And so, yeah, I know I'm a Westerner, but I met Chinese people. We've done discipline together. And I love the Pacific. I love the Philippines. I love the Asian sphere. Like, I love it, man. Why should we get a war? It's going to be bloody and messy. And at that time, it's going to be bad. It's just going to be bloody and messy. And there's no point, man. And I love the Chinese people. We should go to war. We should go to war. There's blood spilled everywhere. I just can't do it. So.
And it was not nature's business to go up and say, "Oh, yeah, it starts yet." Yeah, yeah, this starts yet. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Because I have to rest. I got to clean. Oh my God. This place is killing. No, no, no. Thank God. All the gloves are closed. No. I got to, no, I got to do testing so to go over and testing is ill. I'm clean. Get everything ready. But I have to work Monday and I have to work Christmas Eve. And Tuesday, I'm getting my teeth cleaned and I have to go shopping at Macy's again. No, I have to clean this house and do the laundry. No, no, I am so fucking tired. You have no idea. And I have to work 8 hours Monday and I have to work. Sunday is closed. I'm done. No, anybody can go to Papa's on the Lake and watch Texas. I'm like, have fun. I'm sorry, but I ain't coming. I'm doing laundry. I'm cleaning. No. I've already met him this week. No, I've already put the money out this week. Yeah, on Wednesday. Yeah.
Yeah. My Chinese friend from Hong Kong. So he was born in Hong Kong, Kent Yip, and then his family migrated to Canada. And then he came down to Texas because everybody in the world wants to come to Texas for ultimate freedom. And so I didn't understand Han Chinese, but my friend spoke really good English. And so I went to Kent Yip's house with his mother and father. And what do they sound like? It was some Chinese language. It was so the English language is based on. So most European languages are based on. It's not tone. It's not based on music, and so what you'll understand is that English language is based on syntax, based on structure. But Asian languages are based on tones. So when you listen to when you listen to Chinese, it's like that's why it sounds like it's tonal. It's like a music. So what it is, okay. So every language is based on structure. But when I heard Chinese from my friend, it was like, but the thing is, dude, that Han Chinese, that's really, it's a tone. They have tones, and basically Asian language is based on tones. Okay, so it's almost musical, and other languages are based on syntax. This language is based on tones, but that's why Western people, when English people hear Chinese, it's like it sounds like fucking nonsense, right? Because it's based on tones. So if you understand that Han Chinese and Cantonese is based on tones, then you understand that Asian languages mostly are based on musical tones and particular inflections. So yeah, that's why most. Well, what happened was I went into Kent Gibbs. His family was Chinese from Hong Kong. And took off my shoe, and it went, and he thought I farted. Now, his family thought I farted, but I didn't fart. It was because we were in the rain, and I took my shoe off, and it created a suction sound. So he had to explain to his parents in Chinese that I didn't fart in their house. All right. So what he's saying is I didn't fart. I didn't disrespect his house. Okay. But at first he's like, oh, did you fart? And I was like, no, I did not fart, dude. I took off my shoe, dude. And his parents are like, and I was like, dude, I did not fart in a fucking, I did not fucking fart, bro. I took off my shoe. It was because it was, dude, because in Texas, it's, and the coastal plain is like a humid, and it's wet, and there's like storms and hurricanes stuff. I was like, dude, it's not China, bro. It's like I didn't fart, dude. Like, so in China, like if you fart, that's like disrespectful. But I was like, dude, I didn't fart, bro. So I tried to tell the Chinese people I didn't fart. That was like a big, So they're like, well, is this like fucking rush hour, dog? Yeah, like, never mess with a white man's fart, bitch. Yeah, it was like, I don't know, hanging out with the Chinese dude all the time. I mean, was it like rush hour all the time? Never mess with a black man's radio, dog. I mean, it was like, no. The best thing about hanging out with the Chinese dude is their sense of discipline. So I like that. Yeah. So it wasn't that bad. Hanging out with the Chinese dude is like because every time you're hanging out with the Chinese or Asian dude, they're always thinking logically and stuff. They're not thinking like, so what happens is like, I'm hanging out with the Chinese dude and he's like, well, logically we should do this. And it's like it makes sense to me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that all Asian people, all Chinese people are like that. All right, that's just one Chinese dude I was hanging around. But there is like something cool about Chinese people is that they're always like, okay, This is the way it is. Like, I always like hanging around Chinese people because they don't do anything normally erratically. So that's what I like about it. I love Chinese people. You know, I don't want to go to war against China. I mean, it's like, dude, I love Chinese people. I mean, I always have, man. I always loved their wisdom. I always wanted more. So the Chinese guy would get me around people from the Philippines and Japan and the Asians. And we go around the different people from Asia. And I would love it. It was the greatest thing that I could do. And thank God for my best friend because he exposed me to all these people. There were Asians in America and Asian Americans. And my God, I loved every moment of it. It was so incredible. And I love that guy, man. You know? I love that fucking guy. Because I wasn't going to the Pacific or the Asian Rim. But I mean, this guy was introducing me to people from Asia all the time. I loved it. I loved every minute of it. It was so cool. You know, like learning people from the Philippines and China and Korea. And I loved everything. It was interesting. I mean, it was amazing. I mean, I didn't understand Han Chinese, but you know, how could I'm from America. But it was so amazing. I just loved every minute of it. Learning about all these people from the Asian Pacific, it was fantastic. So I love these people, man. I mean, I know I'm not as logical as all the Asians, but I really respected all the Chinese and all the people that were in America from China, and it was a great experience for me actually. So I love these people, man. They were so great, and I mean, all these people are so beautiful. All these people from Asia and teaching me all these things and all this food and all this culture, and I really loved it, you know. So all these people are in Texas. They're teaching me about the East Asian Pacific, and I fucking loved it. You know, amazing. So. Is there one thing about the Chinese that they don't like? They don't like to lose. They, yeah. Maybe in the West, people lose and they don't get emotional about it. But Chinese people, when they lose a match or something, they get really emotional. And so I guess the idea was in the West that Asian people don't have feelings. They have feelings, just like any human being. So, but what they really hate is to lose. And I didn't understand this at first, but when I started to play tennis with a Chinese man, I realized that when he lost, he got really angry. And so, yeah. So, as much as they try to hide their emotions, as much as Chinese and Asian people try to hide their emotions through logic and discipline, they have emotions. They have human emotions just like anybody else. And so it was, enlightening to me to hang out with the Chinese people and hang out with Filipinos and other Pacific Islanders, Asian people, because I realized they're human and they have human emotions just like anybody else. And but and then Kent took me over to the Filipino guy's house. Went in there and we ate seaweed. And I had seaweed for the first time. So I ate seaweed. I was like, that's nasty. But I ate it. And you know. It wasn't like weird back then for Chinese and Filipinos and people from Asia to hang out. So I just went with it because I was like, okay, that's fine. And so I just did it. It wasn't bad. It was cool. And I just did it because it was awesome. Because I wanted to know about Asia. I wanted to know about the Pacific Ocean. So I just kept going and going and going. And